Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about the most awaited topic of this year, Saturn Retrograde, which is going to happen on 13th of July and will end on 28th of November this year. But astrologically, first understanding what Saturn really is, we will be able to figure out what it is going to bring for you. So let's get started. See, Saturn is a planet of transformation, of karma, of deeds. So whatever you have done in the past, the result of it will come in the retrograde phase. At the same time, it is a planet of transformation. But through transformation, by transformation, it means that it has to put some restrictions around you, a certain wall around you, so that whatever you were trying to do, trying to achieve, it will restrict you for some time in that phase in order to make you more responsible, make you more mature, and reassess and reevaluate in this phase. So the better outcome, which is the life has destined for you, will eventually come out. So in this phase, it's all about transformation through restrictions, reevaluation, and rethinking so that we get what we did not anticipate, but what life really wants for us. Understanding this retrograde phase astronomically. See, no planet moves backwards. It has to move forward only. But what we mean by retrograde phase is the planet's speed becomes a bit slow when it is orbiting the sun. So we Earthians, when we see towards the space and we see Saturn, it's an illusion to see that the Saturn is going to move backwards, but it is not really moving backwards. It is just slowing its speed. And Saturn is already the planet of delay and patience. So Saturn retrograde demands immense patience and immense hard work for you to go through the transformation it is trying to bring for you. Plus, as it is orbiting Sun, as it is going around Sun, we have to understand from astrologically that how Sun will be placed in each horoscope, in which signs and in which aspect through this Saturn retrograde phase. And that's how it is going to manifest that specific area of your life, which it is going to affect natally in your horoscope. So understand this astronomically that Saturn is retrograde in Pisces right now, and on 14th of July, Sun will enter Cancer. As it will sit in trine from Saturn retrograde, first it will manifest the effects of Saturn retrograde. It will make you realize that something is slowing down, something is failing, or something is ending. But only after Sun reaches ninth degree of Cancer. Because what degree Saturn retros at first in Pisces, Sun has to come in trine to exact that degree in order for one to come into effect. So when it will come on 14th of July into Cancer and will remain there for 1 month. So from 14th July till 15th of August, you will start having some depressed feelings, some frustrations. You will feel very restrictive. You may feel that you have lack of control in life and you are not able to do what you were going to do, or your speed is a bit slow in whatever you are doing. So don't be frustrated. It's just that whatever you were doing, this phase is trying to give you more responsibilities, trying to make you realize and understand that whatever you were doing requires more work, more reevaluation. So this phase, this first month is all about intense planning and intense thinking. So don't be frustrated that much. This first phase is just only the beginning. The more frustrating phase comes after this, when Sun enters the sign of Leo, which is sixth from Saturn retrograde phase from Pisces. So in this phase, from 15th of August till 15th of September, this phase is going to be a bit we are going to regain control over what we have lost, because it's human tendency to always gain control over our own life. It's very hard for us, some of us, to surrender to the ultimate God. And so, trying to regain it, we will become a bit more frustrated and a bit more depressed. But remember that whichever sun, whatever ascendant you have, wherever sun is going to place from the Saturn retrograde phase in your natal horoscope, that area is going to manifest and that area is going to express your frustration in. Like, for example, Saturn is retro in Pisces and Sun is in fifth from your natal ascendant being Pisces. So frustration may come out in gaining recognition, handling your children, handling your boss, etc., or handling your education. And when it will come into Leo, on 15th of August, then there might be frustrations around litigations, diseases, etc. for those who are Pisces ascendant. So you have to check your ascendant first and then check your horoscope where Sun is going to be placed in respect to Saturn retrograde. So from we have discussed from July and August, and then from 15th of August till 16th of September, Sun is going to be in Leo. See now in this period, as it will be in Leo and Saturn will be in Pisces, it is 6-8 position, which is not actually that good. So don't rush into doing anything because there will come times where there will be obstacles, there will be a lot of delays in your work, a lot of technical issues, a lot of miscommunications, etc. And then you will realize what all is really happening when Sun will come in opposition to Saturn retrograde phase, which will be in the Libra, which will come on near 16th of September. In this period, whenever Sun, being the sunlight, is opposite Saturn retrograde, then you realize, then it illuminates your mind that where the problem really lies, that whatever you were trying to achieve, why you were not able to achieve, that realization will come. So whichever house Saturn retro is sitting in your natally, and whichever house Sun opposition will be sitting natally, you have to realize in that area of your horoscope where the obstacle really lies. For example, someone is having Pisces ascendant and Saturn is retrograde in that area, and Sun is opposite in the seventh house in Libra, sorry, in Virgo. So that person could have a tough time in handling their marriage, tough time in handling their girlfriend or spouse or partner, tough time in handling their partnership in business, or tough time in traveling here and there. So you have to reevaluate in this period how to regain control over these things. But only you will regain it after 28th of November when Saturn will go direct. At the same time, you can also check where this Saturn retrograde is affecting you natally in your horoscope based on the planetary sittings. Like, for example, if you're checking about relationships, you can check Venus, how Saturn retrograde is affecting your natal Venus. If it is aspecting it through third house aspect, fifth, ninth house aspect, 10th, and 11th house aspect, then these are really, really good aspects and it will affect you beneficially based on re-evaluating and reassessing your relations to make your bond stronger with whomsoever you were trying to make it. But if natal Venus is sitting in Pisces and Saturn retro is over it, if Venus is fourth from it, seventh opposition from it, or 10th from it, then these are going to be a strugglesome period. So these 4 months, you might end some relation with some female, or your spouse, or who you were trying to make bond with, or it will be a bit hard for you to make the bonding strong. If this Saturn retrograde is affecting you, natally your moon, then you might relocate to some place, you might renovate your house, you might get a bit depressed, a bit melancholic, a bit frustrated that whatever you were trying to achieve is not happening. You might become a bit more pessimistic. But the blessing here lies, Jupiter is in Gemini. Whenever Jupiter is in Gemini, Gemini is a sign of communication, and Jupiter is the planet of optimism. So, self communication, self optimism, you will be able to gain great confidence from that. So always remember that whatever difficulties you will be having, this phase is all just really trying to transform you into a better person so that the situations that lies ahead, you are able to handle it properly and with good maturity and good responsibility. Then on 16th of October, Sun will enter Libra in the 8th house from Saturn retrograde. As I told you that when Sun comes in opposition from Saturn retrograde, in that phase it will illuminate your mind into where the problem really lies. And so when we humans understand that where the problem really is, we try to immediately rectify it. But this phase that comes after it, Sun being placed in 8th house of Saturn retrograde, won't let you again regain control over your life, because it will still be trying to show you that you haven't gained that much responsibility, that much maturity, or that much understanding of the situation. So you keep needing to digging in that area wherever the difficulty lies. And when Sun in the trine in Scorpio will come in trine from Saturn retrograde, on 27th of November, I think. At that period, you will be able to reassess what really was the issue and regain control over your life after Saturn goes direct on 28th of November. But these 4 months are just trying to transform you into a person that will be able to handle situations in a better way in the future. So do not resist this phase, just learn from it. Now let's analyze what it will be for every single moon sign and ascendant. So starting with Aries ascendant or moon sign. See, it is your Sadhisati phase, the 7.5 years of huge responsibilities. So becoming retrograde in your 12th house, that shows a lot of responsibilities and unwanted responsibilities will come to you. You have to work thrice harder in order to make the end meet. At the same time, you might get a bit frustrated with extreme delays of things you were trying to achieve, or whatever charitable or selfless work you were trying to do, it might also get interrupted as it is sitting in the 12th house. At the same time, certain diseases, certain accidents can come to you. So please drive and travel very carefully. At the same time, if you're traveling to foreign places, the plans immediately might get cancelled, or it might get huge interruptions or obstacles while you are traveling. For moon sign Taurus or ascendant Taurus, Saturn will be sitting in the 11th house. So, whatever you have been trying to achieve, whatever you have been doing for the past 6 months in this year, you might start getting results of it because it is sitting in the 11th house. At the same time, it will be aspecting your ascendant. So, it might make you a lot more responsible, a lot more mature by the end of the Saturn retrograde phase. At the same time, whatever you were trying to do in terms of big projects, they might get delayed. And you have to reassess a lot, replan a lot in order to being successful in that project. For Gemini moon signs or ascendants, Saturn will be traveling in 10th house and it will be retrograde in the 10th house. See, whenever Saturn or Ketu comes in the 10th house from natal ascendant or moon, there is certain demotion in your work, certain downfall. So please be advised that whatever you're trying to achieve might counter back, might backfire. So just keep doing whatever you were trying to do because this retrograde phase will make you work 10 times harder in your career than it used to be, but getting the same result. And then for Cancer moon sign or ascendant, Saturn retrograde will be sitting in your ninth house. So in this phase, you might get into good literary work. You might read traditional scripts. If you're into Hindu religion, you might start reading Mahabharata, Ramayana, Gita, and every other scriptures that are available. Because this period is trying to transform you into a better person. So Saturn sitting in the ninth house is a great way to start reading ancient Hindu knowledge. At the same time, you might become a more philosophical by the end of this period as to gaining wisdom from huge obstacles that you have been experiencing for the past many years. Then it will also be aspecting your 11th house. So that means whatever you have been trying to achieve might get delayed. Then for Leo moon sign, Saturn retrograde will sit in the 8th house. That means Ashtam Shani. Ashtam Shani is a terminology in Hindu astrology that means Saturn's dreaded placement in the 8th house from ascendant or moon sign. That brings huge obstacles, huge interruptions in your work of area, as it will be aspecting your 10th house, second house, and fifth house. So areas in these, so interruptions in these areas in terms of career, wealth, and children will come. For Virgo moon signs or ascendant, Saturn will be in the seventh house being retrograde. See, as I told you, the sun's placement will show where the frustration really lies or where you need to work on. As Saturn is retrograde in the seventh house, it shows huge obstacles and interruptions and issues in the marital life. So, Sun's first sitting in the 11th house, then coming to 12th, first, second, and third. In this 4 months of retrograde phase shows that first you need to work on what you're trying to achieve in your marriage, what you're trying to achieve in your business, You have to first gain clarity of that. Then you have to work on yourself when Sun will come in opposition to your Saturn retrograde in Virgo. You have to work on yourself on what you really are. Get clarified on what you really are. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And how to strengthen them. So you need to evaluate the Virgo moon signs or ascendant that what you have been doing is the only way to rectify whatever you're trying to achieve in terms of marital issues that this Saturn retrograde is trying to bring. Then for Libra moon sign or ascendants, Saturn retro will be in the sixth house, which is a blessing because the sixth placement from moon sign or ascendant of Saturn is amazing. So it can bring great growth, but at the same time, that growth will come with amazing amount of workload. For Scorpio moon sign or ascendants, Saturn retrograde will be sitting in your fifth house, and Sun will be opposite it in the 11th house, starting with the ninth house. So, first of all, you need to understand one thing that you can't have complete control over your children. You have to change yourself and learn that you have to give freedom to your children in order for them to grow. So, it's a bit contradictory in this phase that by losing control over them, you're trying to understand how to gain freedom for them. Then, for Sagittarius moon signs, Saturn retrograde will be sitting in the fourth house. That shows that you can either renovate your home, shift to a new place, go to foreign, or join some new company you were trying to. But that will come with immense workload. At the same time, you might get struck with some disease, which can't be diagnosed that easily. So better watch out. Plus, your domestic affairs might be a bit harsh. Some fights, some conflicts may go on in this period, but you need to reevaluate. You need to replan and rethink what it is that is trying to create that kind of conflict that the Saturn retrograde phase is going to bring for Sagittarius moon sign or ascendant. Then coming to Capricorn moon sign or ascendant, Saturn retrograde will be in your third house. See, your Sadesati just got over in March, so that means great freedom. Yeah, but contradictory to it, in the Saturn retrograde phase, you might lose that control again, making you remind of Sadesati phase. But that is not exactly Sadesati. It is trying to tell you that the freedom that you have gained also comes with certain limitations and restrictions. So within that limitation, you have to try to work on yourself, whatever you have been trying to achieve, become more responsible and mature, and then go on taking on the world. So better learn patience along with freedom. Then for Aquarius moon signs, Saturn retrograde will be in the second house, giving you huge issues in the money area, financial area. You need to stop spending more, save more, spend less. That is your motto in these 4 months. And then for Pisces moon sign or ascendants, it's all about completely changing your personality, completely changing your aura, your way of thinking, your perception, the way you look at the world, the way you talk to people, the way you interact, the way you showcase yourself. All is going to change in this certain retrograde phase. But for that to change, you will go through immense interruptions, immense obstacles, and immense, I can say, everything will be immense. So, because it is too damn big, you need to be spiritually very inclined. You need to be spiritually very strong, mentally very strong, in order to transform through this phase. But mind it, Saturn retrograde phase is not going to be easy for any moon sign or ascendant. Because in this period, whosoever will resist this phase, the transformation that it will bring, will suffer at the end of the period. So, for understanding this space in a more detailing way, you can book consultation with us through our website, shakticonsultations.com, whose link will be given below. Plus, understand that this phase is not going to be easy for anyone. So, better to ask us to take guidance from us so we can help you tell that what all things are going to change in this phase, how you're going to really transform, and what it is that you need to really work on in this period so this transformation is not wasted.